lines at the vaccine distribution centers are stretched right around the block, Bob. People are scared and...
Robotic temple guards are at all of the vaccination distribution sites.
Temple Industries has revealed a new Guardian series bot that will be distributed to all of these sites.
In the light of new restrictions citizens have taken to the streets, there are reports of looting and...
Eyewitnesses report that the attacker bit the victim and chased them for several blocks before passersby were... Experts say that the virus is extremely contagious and has a nearly 100% mortality rate.
A Guardian squad was immediately dispatched to
The infected are being held in the isolation centers constructed...
Residents were forced to evacuate following a string of attacks that...
What you got there, bud?
Talking about two big dogs involved in this attack that somehow made it through this fence, got out here onto the sidewalk where that little girl was riding her bike.
Anybody who watches that video, it kind of turns your stomach to think of what this poor 9-year-old is going through.
This is the view from one of the neighbors' front yards. A little girl riding her bike when she encounters two dogs who had already bitten and scratched through the fence and are about to bite and scratch through her.
She was just absolutely terrified. I mean, that's something I'm going to remember for the rest of my life. The scream of just sheer terror. It wasn't your, I skinned my knee, I'm hurt, come help me. It was, you know, life-threatening, I'm screaming because I'm going to die type scream.
It's really hard to hold your kid when they're crying like that. And it's really, it makes you feel guilty.
The girl's mother still can't bring herself to watch the video or to speak to the man and woman who own the dogs.
Perhaps their animal that is happy and sweet around their family might not be towards other kids.
The owners were pretty upset about it. Not that their dogs had been taken, but that the attack had happened.
The owners didn't want to go on camera, but they told Fox 13 they feel horrible about what happened.
I do believe that once a dog has crossed that line, that's it. I mean, you can't unprogram that. And we're talking a bite radius of her entire waist.
It isn't just on TV anymore. The dead have reached our town. It was just one or two that wandered into town at first, but then it was a few more, and a few more. Here and most of the surrounding towns have already been evacuated to temple isolation centers, but something feels off to me about the huge media campaign around the whole thing, and the paid celebrity endorsements talking to me about a new normal. So I stayed here. More of the dead arrive in town every day. Their small numbers have made them manageable so far, but it's only a matter of time until I and the other survivors will be forced to leave here. The real question is to go where? Because the entire world is stuck in this nightmare. A temple is nothing without its people. The people at Temple Technologies are working closely with the UN to end the pandemic crisis. Our people are using the newest technologies in our fight to take back our world. Viral contact tracing, satellite tracking of infected herds, and our robotic guardsmen are only a few of the weapons in our fight. This fight will be won with the unprecedented cooperation of all the world governments. By finally coming together as one united human race against this deadly enemy. All around the world, its leaders have joined the temple as one united force against the hordes of infected. The temple. All are one.
Guardian block has been dispatched to the area, but it is being overrun with the infection.
I'm receiving word now that the military forces have been...
As of this morning, the United States and Canada become the two latest countries to declare a state of emergency.
All right. Well, I think if we're going to leave, we should probably leave now.
Well, I still think we should grab that barbecue.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, I do. Move. Go. Hurry.
Yeah.
Move faster. Go.
You drive right through them.
Well, do it already. Let's fucking go.
I woke this morning to the sound of a group of the dead walking past my camper. There were so many of them, all I could do was wait until they passed by. My heart was beating so loud I worried they could hear it. And then I heard the shots. I knew better than to think I was saved. The robots had started shooting anything that moves now, be it zombies, people, or even other robots. The world is fucked. The whole fucking world ended, and I'm all alone now. I gotta be honest, I thought we'd make it further. It's been a few months now, but time hasn't made it any easier. The big temple bot isn't active, but it seems to keep other survivors away from my camp. I've taken to calling it Ralphie. I've been scavenging what I can from a cabin near where I have my camper set up, but eventually I'll have to move on. If you don't stay moving, you don't stay alive. The robots are shooting anything that moved now. Zombies, humans, even other robots.
Target acquired. Target acquired. Acquired. Acquired.
A temple is nothing without its people.
Can you believe this?
Yeah, I don't think we can wait too much longer.
I'll start getting the camper ready.
Yeah. The big temple bot isn't active, but it seems to keep other survivors away from my camp.
Scanning. 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 Possible unregistered contact log 54577655.
I'm pretty sure the drones saw me, so I'll be moving my camp today. Before I lost contact with the other survivors, I'd heard that temple patrols had been rounding up anybody not already in one of their isolation centers. I'd rather not. Travel was risky, for a few reasons. Firstly, because it had to be done during the day, running the risk of being spotted again, and secondly, because of the infected and the temple bots. There was also the risk of being stuck on a blocked off road, as a lot of the major roads were littered with abandoned vehicles. After a full day of driving and weaseling my way around a few unfamiliar back roads, I spotted what seemed to be a perfect spot. It was a fenced-in area full of old vehicles. I decided this would be my new home for now, and I parked my camper. The zombie virus is extremely infectious and presents as a sort of encephalitis with flu-like symptoms, attacking the nervous system. The virus is spread primarily through blood and saliva, but there have been rare cases of infection through scratches. Properly treated, a scratch victim often makes a full recovery, but pre-existing health conditions can change the likelihood of that dramatically. The virus eventually shuts down all higher functions as the brain swells, and the victim will become extremely irritable in the early stages of infection. Their pupils will dilate, making bright lights extremely painful. Their irritability progresses to aggressive mood swings, then into violent blackout rages, until eventually only a lizard brain hunger remains as the patient appears to expire. This death is deceiving, as the body continues to function without any of the metabolic processes generally considered life, despite its ravenous hunger. The corpse is able to move and still receive sensory input, but will no longer require food or drink. It will not tire and feels no pain. The virus works a strange biochemical change on the flesh of the carrier, infusing its cells with a substance that seems to somehow retard the natural process of decomposition. Normally, an exposed corpse can rot away to bone in a matter of weeks, but one of the infected dead can still be shambling along almost a year later. When newly turned, a zombie is terrifyingly fast and strong, its body operating at full predatory capacity at all times. They're still dead though, and their tissues don't heal from strain or injury, so it isn't long before they're reduced to the shambling dead you mostly see now. Most zombies end up eating their own lips, and repeated hand injuries due to poor coordination can leave their fingers jagged bone talons. Their ravenous hunger will often cause them to overstuff their guts to the point of rupture, and it isn't unusual to see them trailing their intestines in the dirt. The dead are very fast and strong, but they lack fine coordination. They can climb stairs, but not ladders, that sort of thing. I've slept in trees and on the top of buildings to stay out of their reach. Their pupils are wide open at all times and they have excellent night vision. I try to avoid traveling at night as they see far better than I do, and a flashlight will only attract them. Some animals can also catch the virus, especially canines, but they react much differently than an infected human host. The infected animal will present rabies-like symptoms and are fully capable of transmitting the virus through their bites. Death will occur from extended seizures and generalized organ failure anywhere from 12 hours to a couple months later. And on death, they will rapidly decompose, the exact opposite of the slow decomposition in human zombies. The accelerated cellular breakdown leaves even the skeleton reduced to a greasy paste. Occasionally, a small group of infected animals will form a pack, becoming a dangerous new threat in the area until they eventually die off. Zombies are attracted to lights, loud noises, and unusual smells. For this reason, fires or operating vehicles or tools are dangerous. I tend to travel on foot, but a bicycle with a well-oiled chain is an invaluable asset. The classic movie trope of being able to kill a zombie by destroying its brain is, thankfully, accurate. Bodily injuries are completely ineffective, fire does nothing but set everything aflame, and chemical agents are similarly useless. Anything that injures a sufficient portion of the brain will take down a zombie. My usual method is a good crack to the head with my hammer, but I've also jammed something into an eye socket and given what's left in the skull a quick stir.